Welcome to the program, everyone. We begin in Africa's most populous country, in Nigeria, looking, of course, at this new upgrade from Fitch credit ratings on Nigeria, upgraded to a B with the outlook stable. Prior rating, of course, was a B minus. Looking at some of the triggers that facilitated this credit rating, they said it's a commitment to policy reform, so the Tinubu administration also improved policy coherence and credibility, rise in FX liquidity, and of course they also highlighted the monetary policy tools from the central bank, as well as transparency, with a nod towards those net foreign exchange reserves. Now, of course, B minus, or rather, the B still means Nigeria is in the highly speculative category. So to break it down, who better than a Rise business analyst, Chika Mbonu, joining us this Monday morning. Chika, good morning to you, sir.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome.
New
Thanks
week,
for joining
new
us.
week.
Yes,
New
hope you had a nice weekend.
New week, yes.
So what do you make of this bit of news here?
Well, I mean, we always believe that governance of a country, especially, requires the president or leaders to take hard decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
That may sacrifice short-term popularity, but in the long term, for the benefit of the country, for the good of the country. And why I'm starting like that is that, if you cast your mind back to this tariff war that's happening now around the whole world, you will see some countries, the presidents, it's like the whole world versus America. And so countries are taking their position, and you see some presidents taking some hard decisions on how to protect the economies of their country. And before Tinubu came to power, we had the 8 years of Buhari government, and I would just say that a lot of even his party members have described him in more colorful terms. But we knew that the 8 years were summarized as very tentative, very indecisive. The president was claiming that he was very populist, and as I described this sometimes, so it didn't take a lot of hard decisions that for the good of the country they could have taken.
Yeah.
He didn't take them. I described President Buhari one time as like that surgeon that on his shift, he had a woman that needed one of the breasts to be cut off because to be alive for the breast cancer, she had breast cancer.
Mastectomy.
Yeah, mastectomy for breast cancer. But the president was the doctor on that shift, and he didn't want to be that doctor that cut off somebody's breasts, and so he pushes it to the next shift because he wants to be popular.
Yeah.
Even men that fight prostate cancer have, in the process of being alive, making a choice to be alive, have lost penile functions.
Yeah.
So the hard decisions are required a lot of times to drive through the country. Well, I've also said in this program several times that no matter who won in the last election, there were key issues because we already identified them before the election, and we talked about them even represent Buhari regime, that this country was broke, and there's no way we could have sustained the fuel subsidy thing.
Yeah.
And the multiplicity of exchange rates was also not doing the country any good. And so the Tinubu regime came in, took those decisions. We knew, of course, there were consequences of those decisions. One of them was going to be inflation immediately.
Of course, yeah.
And multiple inflation for that because fuel subsidy, exchange rate. People have said, they could have taken decisions differently. But it happened. We have things against them, and we have them handle the consequences or the effects of those. But what's happening now is the country is profiting from some of those decisions. So you can see the Fitch rating that moved from -B to +B, which is stable. And then somebody will ask for our viewers, the way we normally do this program, rating agencies worldwide, for purpose of viewers, help in rating the companies and countries, provide rating for them to enable them be able to go out there in the international finance market, to be able to raise money, or even give confidence to investors coming to the country. And so the pluses for us, therefore, include the fact that that will happen.
Yeah.
It will be easier to borrow now at lower interest rates because the higher your risk, the higher you charge.
Right.
You are charged by those who want to give you money.
Yeah.
So the lower rating, better rating we have now, will help in that. The other thing also is that foreign portfolio investors and other investors who want to come to our country will see that the risk is moderated. And so that's that. So the government has, profited from the hard decisions it's taken, even though we say that the consequences are not being handled properly.
Yeah.
Remember exchange rate liberalization and the subsequent things CBN had done to make sure that's more transparent in the FX market. The issues that go down to, petroleum. The Dangote refinery coming on stream.
Yeah.
Remember the program, what we did 2 days ago on the balance of payments.
That's right.
Again, positive. Remember what we did about 3 or 4 days ago on net exchange reserves.
Yeah.
Those are things that happen when you take the right decisions, and there's a consequence. But you see, what has happened now is that I must come out and tell, because people are going to cut my head.
Yeah.
The president must know that the Nigerian citizens are suffering the consequences of these decisions. So even though he's getting these affirmations, from people like Fitch, but the citizens of the country have not profited from this. They benefited from these ratings. And we know that if the ratings are good, as I said, lower borrowing costs, more investors will come in, which at the end of the day should translate to investments on the ground, more employment for Nigerian citizens, more investment, lower inflation, and citizens will profit from those. But those have not happened.
Yeah.
But let me even put it out there also that the stable B rating is still in the speculative grade.
That's right.
Which means that there's still some problems. And the challenge, therefore, will be what will happen in the coming months. How will the government handle that? Would there be consistency in the implementation of the policies so that they don't revert? And that's when the citizens of the country can actually get benefit of them.
Right.
Especially as you know what's happening now, because of this tariff situation we have in the world now. We don't even know where we are on this tariff thing because, every day there are reversals.
A new one.
A new one comes in. But for us as a country, I think, as I said already on this program, I think some days ago, the issue that really affects us, first of all, is the fact that if you have low economic output around the world, oil prices tank, as we have seen have tanked, a budget that is driven at $75 per barrel, oil prices, I think you are the analyst, it came in about $3 per barrel this morning. I don't know about that.
It's up to
$65 per barrel now.
Yeah, but still under.
Still under our budget,
Still under,
with a production level of 1.8 million barrels per day, we're still far from that. So that may put a lot of pressure on our dollar naira exchange rate. And also, remember what we talked about also the other day when CBN came out to defend the dollar with the first $200 million and then subsequent interventions. The FPIs who fly to safety,
right?
Because of the instability in the whole financial system. One of them exit Nigeria, and so that also is a consequence. So we hope that everything will simmer and calm down, and so that we don't have that kind of challenge on the Naira dollar exchange rate.
Fantastic. Well, Chika, just before I let you go, what about your outlook? I think what you're saying is there are some shocks that are out there.
Yes, there are some shocks out there.
Right.
But that's why you saw the CBN coming to defend the. I don't like using the word they defend.
Right.
Because defend.
Intervene.
Because CBN is already upfront, define their role in the market. There are some bands that the exchange should, waive on, and the CBN role is to make sure that it stays within those bands and not, depreciates aggressively overnight. So we hope that some, sanity returns back to that. You saw what's happening now. The boxing match between the two largest economies in the world is moderating, and now they're saying some, as you asked the question during your rundown, they're saying some of the electronics are not are exempted from the tariff war. So hope that will lead to shaking of hand between the two large economies and peace will thank God Europe has said we'll hold we'll shoot our swords, we'll hold we won't fire. Canada also, so maybe that will provide some synergy required. And so the shaking that would have happened in our own economy here, will be moderated.
Right.
Because, when they sneeze.
No, it's also catch the cold.
Yeah, yes.
We'll see how things work out. All right, business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, thank you so much for the breakdown on that upgrade from Fitch rating.